Hey friends, Jave Danielle here. So if you saw on my Instagram feed, okay, let me stop right there because some of you watching don't follow me on Instagram. What are you doing? Go to my Instagram. But you'll see a story where I was in the airport and I tried a Kouign Ammon. Now, Kouign Ammon is one of the hardest pastries out there to bake. I saw them originally on the Great British Bake Off many seasons ago. I tried one in the airport and I told myself, Jave, you gotta make it. You gotta figure it out, because what would life be if you didn't take on unnecessary baking challenges? It would be drab.
Boring.
So today I'm gonna try it. I found a recipe offline. This recipe is by John Mikovich. I could have that wrong. If I do, John, give me a call, let me know. But he wrote this recipe on allrecipes.com and it seems pretty interesting. So I'm just gonna get started. Cue the intro. To be honest, my friends, I didn't intend on sharing the history of Kouign Ammons. However, I felt summoned by the Nerdy Baker Alliance, a group that I chair myself, to share very random facts about this pastry. So here we are. Strap yourselves in, folks. You are in for a ride. Let me set the tone for you in this video. First of all, I'm going to be popping in and out, sharing all the wonderful details. 2, for this video, I'm going to be calling them KAs instead of Kouign Ammon again and again and again. 3, there are a lot of French words coming up. And I may botch the pronunciation, but let me go ahead and tell you, basically, pray for me. Don't play with me in the comments. I apologize. All right, my friends, the yeast is yeasting and it's time to add in the other ingredients. John tells us that we need to add in a tablespoon of melted butter. Got it. We need a teaspoon of salt. Got that. And then for this recipe, he's asking for bread flour, though he says that AP flour should work. I am using bread flour. I'm using King Arthur Baking Company bread flour. Give me a call, King Arthur Baking Company. I'm using one of your products.
And we sing it with no shame, no regret.
Either way, I'm going to start off with a cup and a half. Now, I'll let you in on a secret. I already made this dough, but the first time I made it, it wasn't giving like I thought it was going to give. So I decided to go back. Let me try this just one more time because I want the Kouign Ammon to come out right. So now I'm going to start off with a cup and a half and then put the other half on the counter and let it soak up that. It was very dry the first time, and I think it was user error. There are 2 origin stories for KAs, the first of which started in 1860 in a town called Douarnenez in Finistère. There's a baker named Yves René Scordia. He runs out of desserts and decides to improvise. He combines laminating, which is a technique for making croissants, with a whole bunch of sugar, and what you're left with is something that's caramelized, it's golden, and it tastes absolutely brilliant. The other origin is from Scaillère, but in this recipe, the butter was already mixed in the dough, kind of like rough puff pastry. Okay, it's time for the next step, which is to prepare the pan. So I have buttered my muffin tin, and he's saying that we have to season the sugar. KAs are such a big deal that they actually have an association, kind of like Broke Five Broke from Kanye.
Broke.
These are Queen by Queen.
Broke. We ain't got it.
The association laid out some pretty basic requirements. 1, there must be quality butter. They have to be baked the same day. They have to look caramelized, and they have to be presented the right side up. Rustic is even better. I feel like Paul Hollywood would be very proud of me right now. Paul, you can also give me a call. instruction, which is to use the seasoned sugar this time as we roll it out. For my math nerds, KAs are made with a 4:3:3 ratio. 4 parts dough, 3 parts butter, and 3 parts sugar. It's only been within the last decade that Kouign Ammons have become popular, really in the United States, mostly due to a lot of the high-end bakeries. However, the version normally sold at bakeries is very different from a traditional Kouign Ammon. Kouign Ammon were normally served in a 9-inch pan. They kind of look like a big pie, cakier on the inside and then crispier on the outside. But in a lot of bakeries, they are a lot smaller. Dominique Ansel has made the cronut pretty famous, and a lot of people liken that to a Kouign Ammon. I've been to that bakery. I have tried it. I'm not sure if I would count that as a Kouign Ammon. But then again, who am I except for an exciting and wonderful home baker? You can see the process. I've cut this into 12 squares, and now I'm going to pinch this up at the center. This was actually kind of difficult. I don't know if it was because of my nails or just because I'm not used to like forming the dough. But basically, I'm going through and I'm shaping all of these and putting them into the pan. I've also added some extra sugar on the top. And the instructions tell me to keep adding the sugar. And even once I put them in the pan, dust them with more sugar. And I think that that's what gives them that caramelized, golden honey brown sort of look to them. Put that on top. The sugar should help caramelize these. It tells me to let them rest for 10 minutes. And then I'm going to pop them into an oven, which is on 375 fan, and see how my Kouign Ammon come out. Manischewitz. Here they are. Look at the layers. OMG. Okay, I'm diving in. Wow. That'll do it. My family loved these so much that I ended up making them again Christmas morning. But this time I did a book fold and an additional turn for the dough. I hope you enjoyed this tasty and historical journey. I certainly did. Kouign Ammons are definitely worth making. They take a lot of time, but they are tasty. They're easy to put together. So I'm not really sure why they're called the world's hardest pastry, but you definitely need some patience when making these because it will take you some time. I love you, and I know you love me. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Bye.